Hello and welcome to Computology Academy, and today we are going to start our new series for UPSC essay writing. So UPSC requires you to write a essay paper which is having a weightage of 250 marks, and it becomes very important for clearing the examination, UPSC Civil Services examination, and it is a very deciding paper in the UPSC mains examination, as well as it impacts your overall marks. So this is going to be a complete series where we will discuss about the characteristics of a essay, features required to be in an essay, how to write an essay, what should be the content of an essay, from where to draw the contents of the essay, how to compile the contents of the essay. So this is going to be a complete series on that. So those who have not subscribed our channel till now, do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos. So here this is going to be the session 1. Here we will discuss different things about the UPSC essay paper. So first of all, let us discuss about the nature of the essay paper in UPSC. So in the essay paper of UPSC, we have the weightage of 250 marks, and here you are required to write 2 essays, 125 marks each. And here there will be 2 sections. In each section you will find 4 topics, among which you have to select one from section A and one from section B to write the essay. And in the essay is a kind of fear factor for the students, because they think that from where we will get the content for the essay, how to compile the content of the essay, how to write the essay, various things are there. So how to write and how to use the content, that will be discussed here. However, the content that is required to write the essay is already with those students who have cleared the prelims and going to appear in the mains and preparing well for the mains examination. Because if you talk about the prelims and the mains examination, then here what happens, the syllabus of the prelims and the mains examination is more or less same, because there are few other things that are added to the syllabus of the prelims examination, and the prelims examination syllabus becomes a bit elaborate for the mains examination. And in the mains examination you will find that there is addition of world history apart from the syllabus of the prelims, as well as you will find the ethics, integrity and aptitude paper. So these are the few changes that you will find in the mains examination syllabus. However, more or less the syllabus is same. The same ancient history, same medieval history, same art and culture, same modern history, same polity, same economics, everything is same. The current affairs is same. Only thing is that how does you use that information in the prelims examination, and how does you use the same information for the mains examination, that will change. Only thing that will change, that here you have to answer the objective questions using the same information, and in the mains examination you have to write the subjective questions answers using the same information, using the same content. So that is the only difference here you face in the prelims and the mains examination. Same thing is with the essay also. The content is already with you when you are preparing for the GS and the optional paper. The same information will be used to write the essay also. Only thing is that how you use that information, that method, that technique will change. And we will learn here that same technique, how to utilize that information while writing an essay. Because if you go on to see the topics that are provided, that are related to, when you read the paper of the essay, then you will find most of the time that most of the topics are related to sociology or the social issues, polity, geography, environment and ecology, in some cases economic issues also. So these kind of things, as well as governance, you will find governance also. So these are some of the major topics, some of the major subject matters from which the topics are drawn, that will be there in the question paper of essay. So here only thing that will change in the essay paper is that how you use the information that you have already accumulated and assimilated while preparing for your optional paper or your GS paper. Because if you find an essay on sociology or the social issues, then what happens? If a student is having his optional as sociology, then the same information of the optional subject can be utilized for writing the essay. The same thing will happen when the topics are related to geography. That will provide the advantage to the students of geography optional. In the case of polity, the PSIR. So this is the way where you will utilize your content which is already with you. Only thing is that you have to know the skill, you have to know the art of writing the essay. That is the thing. And here the essay paper, in the essay paper, some of the features and the characteristics that we will discuss ahead in this video are required, and that can be incorporated quite easily, because if you compare the papers of the optional subject and the GS subjects with the essay paper, then what you will find that in the essay paper you have to write 2 essays that should be having the word range of 1000 to 1200 words. So in total you need to write at max 2500 words, while if you are writing the mains paper of GS subject or the optional subject, then roughly you have to write 5000 words for 20 questions. In the GS paper there are 20 questions, in the optional paper it may vary from subject to subject. So this is the situation. So here you can clearly analyze that you have to write less amount of words. So you have the ample of time to deliberate and to think about the structure of the essay, the features of the essay, the content of the essay, how to arrange these content in the essay. So you can score good marks if you learn these skills, how to make your essay a good essay. And here you have to write around 20 pages only in the essay paper, because in general what happens, every student, most of the student, not every student, write 100 to 120 words on an average in a page. This is the average. In some cases there may be some variation, because some of the students used to write in a very small font size, then it may go above 120 words, and in some cases the students write very big font size words. So in that case it may come down from 100 words also, it may become 80 or 90 words. So that is the possibility, but in general 100 to 120 words is the maximum limit in which one page will get filled up, and none of the examiner is going to count your words word by word. Just they will look at your first page and they will analyze that this might be the possible number of words that is there in this page, and accordingly they will count the page and they will come to a rough idea that this is the number of words in which the essay has been written, and accordingly they will evaluate the paper. So here also you don't have to bother about the number of words and go on to count the words. Don't go on to waste your time on such kind of frivolous things. This does not matter at all, because this is not the hard and fast limit. If you are writing a good essay, its flow and everything is very good, and if it gets finished off within 900 words also, then also it is not an issue at all for you. And if it breaches 1200 words also, it goes on to be of 1300 words essay, then also it is not an issue, because 10% of leeway is always there. 10% negative or positive leeway is always there with you. You don't have to bother about that. So this is the thing. And the next thing is that how does the essay paper become so important? Because here you have to write just 2 essays, that is of 125 marks, 250 marks is total. But what happens here, the range of the marks that is scored by the students is very huge, very large. Some of the students who are below average, or already they are having good content, everything is good, but they don't know how to write an essay, because essay writing is an art, एक कला है ये, जिसको सीखना पड़ता है. It is a skill. हर कोई जो ज्ञानी होता है वो किताब लिखने वाला नहीं बन जाता है. एंड द एसे राइटिंग इज अ काइंड ऑफ स्टोरी टेलिंग, एंड you have to be very proficient in storytelling to score good marks in essay. That is the need of the essay. So that is what happens here. And some of the students will go on to score only 80 marks out of 250 marks, while some of the student may go on to score 170 marks out of 250 marks. So what difference is there? Around 90 marks difference, which is a very huge difference. It is around 10% of the overall cutoff for the mains examination. And because of such a huge difference, it is the possibility that if you are on the higher end, you will be under 100 rank or 200 rank in the final list, or if you are on the lower end, then you will be out of the list itself. Even it is possibility that you may not be called for the mains also, interview also, personality test also. So these kind of possibilities are already there. So here, this is the situation which makes it so important, because here it is the possibility to have an edge over other students with less amount of effort, because only thing you have to learn is the art of writing, the skill of writing, because the content is already with you. You don't have the need, you don't need to put the effort to read any extra content for writing a good essay, because all the things are already with you. सारे हथियार आपके पास हैं essay writing के. Only thing is that how to use it, how to fire those weapons, that is the thing you need to learn. And here this video will become helpful, this series of videos will become helpful for you to learn these skills, to know about these skills, how to utilize these content while writing the essay, how to arrange it, what kind of characteristics are needed in the essay. So let us start, and first of all we will go through the syllabus of the essay. So here the UPSC has provided the syllabus of the essay only in 2 sentences. First of all, we will read the whole syllabus, then we will focus on the keywords and the requirements of the essay in UPSC syllabus. So here it says that the candidates may be required to write essay on multiple topics. They will be expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay, to arrange their ideas in orderly fashion, and to write concisely. Credit will be given for effective and exact expression. So first of all, we will focus on the second sentence, because here it clearly mentions why you will be provided to score, what kind of score will be given, how the marking will be done, why the credit will be provided, why the marks will be provided. So here it says that the credits will be given for effective. Effective means what? You have written it clearly and in an efficient way. Your communication with the examiner is good, and the examiner is getting it clearly, what you want to say, what you want to convey to the examiner. Examiner is easily understanding the subject matter of your content, the argument of your content. That is effective communication with the examiner. what you want to say to the examiner, when he will understand that, then only he will give you the marks, then only he will understand your exam arguments, then only he will understand your opinion, and then only he will give you the marks. And for that matter, you have to write in an effective way, effective communication skill, proper communication skill. Do not go on to write in such a kind of way that Sasi Tharoor uses to write, so that kind of flowery English is not going to be beneficial for you in the essay, because it will create the confusion in the mind of the examiner and he will deduct your marks rather than giving you more marks. So first thing is that, and exact expression. This means that whatever you are writing, that should be crisp and clear. There should be no ambiguity. There should be no dilemma in your writing. That should be exact and clear. Only then you will be provided with the marks on that essay. That is the key. Now come to the first sentence. Here the first keyword is multiple topics, which means that clearly that we have discussed that you have to write 2 essays of 125 marks each. So out of 8 topics, 4 topics in section A and 4 topics in section B, you have to select one topic from section A and second topic will be selected from section B, and you have to write the essay on those topics, and you are free to choose any topic out of those 4 topics in each section. Next is here, keep closely to the subject. So whatever subject matter you have selected to write an essay on it, so you have to keep closely to that subject matter. You don't have to do the bush hitting. You have to write all the arguments, all the evidences, all the data and everything related to that essay only, related to that topic only. Nothing else than that should be written in the essay. No bush hitting should be done over there. Many times what happens, the student go on to write whatever they know rather than writing what is asked in the essay. So these kind of mistakes should not be done at all while writing the essay in the UPSC, because nobody have the time to read the waste thing, and whatever is apart from the subject matter of the essay, that is a complete garbage, and examiner is not interested in that at all. Even if you will waste his time, he will ruin your career. He will give you too much less marks that will become detrimental for your final selection or even a chance to appear in the interview, right? So this kind of things should be kept in mind. You have to write closely to the subject matter only. Everything that is mentioned in the essay should be related to that topic only, and many times what happens, the students go on to get dragged while writing. They get emotionally dragged. So that should not be done over here. If you have started to write an essay on a social issue and somehow you have to get some examples of the economy or any other polity related things, topics, then you should mention it briefly, and that too in the social context, and not to go on to discuss about all the economic aspects of that thing or the political aspects of that thing. So that should be kept in mind. You have to give only the passing reference that should corroborate your argument only, and not to discuss the whole economic aspect of that particular argument, right? So that should be kept in mind. Next is arrange their ideas. So this is a very important thing. You people might have watched various movies, and there are 2 movie makers, 2 directors, and both of them are very famous, and both of them are very famous because of different reasons. One is Asutosh Gowarikar and one is Sajid Khan, and many of you might have been laughing because you would have watched the movie Lagan. So what happens there? He has arranged the movie, he has edited the movie and compiled the movie Lagan in such a way that it creates the curiosity and it keeps the audience attached to that movie. It creates the interest in the viewers of the movie, so that they are curious, what will happen next, what will happen next. So in this also what happens, you have to arrange your ideas in such a fashion, in an orderly fashion, so that there should be a flow of the essay, there should be a rhythm that should be maintained in the essay, that should create the curiosity and the interest in the reader of the essay. The idea should not be jumbled in a haphazard manner, that nobody gets to recognize what is happening, what has happened. And if somebody leaves the essay reading in between, then also he is not having any kind of fear of losing something. If you are watching Lagan, then you will watch the movie completely, because it will create an interest in you, what will happen next. And if you are forced to leave it watching in between, then there will be a sense of fear in you of losing something interesting. That is the thing what is needed in the essay also, and not to write the essay like Sajid Khan makes the movie, like that of Houseful or something like that. So if you leave those movies watching at any point of time, you will not feel sorry for yourself that I have missed something. So that is not the case, and that should not be the case in your essay also, because it will become detrimental for you, right? And next keyword is write concisely. Write concisely means that you have to write the essay in a concise manner. That should not be a book. You have to incorporate as much arguments, as much ideas as possible, and as much of the information that is with you within the prescribed word limit. Do not try to breach the word limit. However, there is some leeway of around 8 to 10%, but always try to keep within the word limit, write it concisely and in a very effective manner. That should be your approach while writing the essay. That is what is needed in the UPSC, and that is what the syllabus of the essay of the UPSC says, right? तो ये चीज हमेशा ध्यान में रखना है. Now come to essay. What is an essay? So as defined by Aldous Huxley, he defines essay as a literary device for saying almost everything about almost anything. You can say almost everything about almost anything through an essay. That is a literary device. That is the medium of written communication. Essay is a medium of written communication through which you can say almost everything about almost anything to anybody, and that anybody is the reader of that essay. That is the literary device. Next is the essay is the complete composition. So the essay should be written in such a way that if somebody is reading an essay about any topic, then he should not need to read anything or do the Google or the web searching or watch the YouTube videos, right, about that topic. All the information of that topic should be incorporated in that essay, so that a person should have a clear argument, a clear idea about that topic by reading that essay itself. He should not need to read anything or to search about anything about that topic about which he is reading the essay. That should be the approach while writing the essay. It is a debate on an issue. So how does an essay becomes a debate? So all the topics, if it is a social issue, then definitely there will be some positive aspects of that social issue, there will be some negative aspects of that social issue. So you have to write the positive aspects of that social issue, the negative aspects of that social issue, and before that you have to write the introduction. And this will be the structure. Right now I am discussing in brief. In the coming videos I will discuss the structure, what should be the structure of your essay in detail. The whole one video will be dedicated to the structure of the essay and the compilation of the essay itself. So go on to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to not miss that video, right? And next is, in the body part you will discuss after the intro the positive and the negative aspects, and every positive and the negative aspect should be supported with evidences and arguments. That is the most requisite thing. आप हवे में ही बोलकर कुछ भी नहीं निकल सकते. You have to support your ideas and arguments with effective evidences and the arguments. And the last will be the conclusion. And that conclusion should be satisfactory and should end on a positive note on that topic. Never write a conclusion that is in a negative sense, because वही happy ending वाली कहानी है. The picture should always end on a happy note, right? So that is the approach with the essay also. Next is presents the writer's argument. Basically what happens here, the viewpoint will be of the writer. So basically here UPSC wants to test your ideas and your approach of thinking, your approach of looking at any topic, and that is why the essay is the viewpoint of the writer, the argument of the writer on any issue. And that is why you will find very tricky topics in the essay paper in the UPSC, and from that the UPSC will analyze your thought process. And that is why an essay presents the writer's argument about any topic, the writer's viewpoint on any topic. Essay narrates a story. So here basically what we had said, that the essay is the writing skill and art. So here you have to narrate any topic like a story and clear every aspect of that topic through a method of story, right? So that should be the approach while writing the essay. It persuades the reader to think on that topic. You have to provide the consumable information in front of the reader. That should be consumed, that should be assimilated by the reader, and thereafter his thought process will start and he will start deliberating on that topic. And while reading the essay, after reading the conclusion, you should persuade the reader to reach out to a point or a conclusion related to that topic. You have to persuade, you have to write an essay in such a efficient and effective manner that the reader should be persuaded to confirm with your idea, with your thought process. That should be the impact of your essay. The essay should be written in such a way, right? So we have learned already about the essay, what is an essay. Now come to the characteristics of an essay. What kind of characteristics a good essay should possess? There should be these characteristics. First is concise. So basically the time is limited with everybody, and the examiner is also having limited time, and that is why you are provided with a word limit, a range of word limit in the UPSC paper also, because nobody is having the time to read a whole book. If there are such capable students in the UPSC also, UPSC examination, preparing for that examination, that if there will be no word limit, then they are capable of writing both of the essays in 30 pages, and nobody is having that much of time to read that 30 pages for a topic, for a single topic, because they have to know about your thought process, your ideas, your viewpoints, and that can be analyzed within 10 pages. That is why there is word limit. So the essay should be written in a concise way. that should be kept short, simple and efficient. Your essay should be short, simple and efficient, that is capable of persuading the reader to confirm with your viewpoint, to agree with your viewpoint. Next is the essay should be coherent, right? So what does this coherent means? Coherency means that there should be the topics, those are related to that essay only, that topic only, all the arguments, all the data, all the debates that are related to that essay only, right? So here the data, argument, and debates, these should be related to that topic only, that should be topical, and not the bush hitting should be done at all, because that will make the reader angry, because what he will say, क्या फालतू बातें कर रहा है, कुछ का कुछ भी लिख रहा है, मतलब जो मुझे आता है वही लिखेंगे क्या? So that should not be the situation that should be faced by the examiner while reading your essay. So the essay should be coherent, that should be within the limits of the topic only and not doing the bullshitting. Next is unity. The essay should be unified. It should be written in a unified manner. And what does we mean by that? If you are discussing an argument, a debate related to that topic, so what happens, as written in the syllabus, there should be good arrangement of the ideas, right? So the arrangement of the ideas of the essay should be in such a way that when you are ending one argument, so in the last line, what you should do? You should mention a passing reference. Somehow you have to connect the next paragraph with the previous paragraph. The coming paragraph, the view or glimpse of the coming paragraph topic should be provided in the present paragraph itself, the paragraph which you are writing right now. So here in the last line, somehow you have to connect the next coming viewpoint, because that will make your essay unified. A flow in the essay will be maintained, so it will become, the essay will become like movie Lagan, and not it will be like that of Houseful, right? So that should be kept in mind. Next is lucidity, simple language. Don't become Shakespeare or Shashi Tharoor while writing the essay, right? The communication with the examiner will be in such a way that he is able to clearly understand what you want to say. So here many students do what? They start writing a sentence, and in the whole paragraph they write only one sentence. And because of that, what happens? When the examiner starts reading the first line, so he is reading the first line, and while coming to the end of that paragraph, what happens? He is last mein pahuncha, and suddenly he thinks that with what he does, he had started the paragraph, and suddenly one thing will come in his mind, कहना क्या चाहते हो? So that situation should not happen there, right? So you have to keep in mind that you have to keep the essay sentences simple, lucid language, and don't write too much lengthy sentences, because again it will create the confusion in the examiner's mind. So these kind of simple things will help you out to write a good essay. Next is the argument and the thesis. The arguments and the thesis should be there to support your ideas, and that argument and the thesis should also be supported with evidences. And that evidences might be the data from the government's report, might be the data from the UN's report, or some renowned organizations or the NGO's report. So these kind of the evidences should be quoted over there, and accordingly the argument and the thesis should be supported with those evidences, then it will become a effective essay, a essay with full of content, right? And as we said, the evidences are needed, and why the evidences are needed? Those are needed to support your argument and your thesis, right? So here these are the characteristics that should be there in your essay. So what are the features of a good essay? You have to think about the features of the good essay also. So here first feature is communication skill, because this is the only method of communication with which, only literary device through which you are communicating with the examiner. And if you don't have the good communication skill, then you might be knowing about the communication gap. So this should not happen at all. So you should use such kind of words, such kind of sentences which are lucid, simple and quite easy to understand by the examiner. Don't become too much like Shashi Tharoor or Shakespeare and using the flowery language or the words, fancy words, जिसके लिए कि एग्जामिनर को भी गूगल करना पड़ जाए. So if you will create the stress in his mind, he will create the stress in your life, right? So the communication skill should be good, and in the communication skill, one more thing is that should be grammatically correct as far as possible, because nowadays it has become very much difficult for the students also because of lack of practice, lack of writing practice, that the students are committing too much of the grammatical mistakes. But minimize it as much as possible, and one simple way to minimize it is keep small sentences. Because of the small sentences, you will not need to use too much of the grammatical words, and that will reduce the grammatical mistake in your writing. And here again it will improve your communication skill. So you should communicate with the examiner in a very crisp and efficient way, right? Next is the context. Never leave the context of the essay. Always stick to the context of the essay, like as we had discussed in the coherent characteristics. So this is a bit like that itself, that you should not deviate from the context of the essay, the topic of the essay. The topic should be adhered with, the context should be adhered with. Next is curiosity in the reader. This is the very basic and very needful thing that should be, that this feature should be in your essay, and this should start right from the introduction of the essay. Only then the reader will be interested to read your essay. So create the curiosity in the reader's mind, what kind of thing he is going to say, and that is why you should provide a glimpse of the things that are going to come in front of the reader while reading the essay, that we will discuss while we will be discussing about the structure of the essay. So these things should be kept in mind, right? So creating the curiosity, and after every paragraph the reader should be curious to read the next paragraph. And for that matter, as we had discussed in the unity feature, that a glimpse of what is going to come next should be provided in the last line of the present paragraph, that he will be reading about in the next paragraph. So these things should be kept in mind. Next is unambiguous. Don't sound confused in your own self while writing the essay, because the reader will lose the interest for reading the essay. If you yourself are confused, then what kind of persuasion you will do for the reader? How could the reader would arrive to a conclusion by reading your essay if you by your own self are confused? You are ambiguous. So there should be no ambiguity in writing of your essay. That should be kept in mind. Next is logical. So if you are providing any argument, any thesis, that should be logical and that should be in accordance to the topic. कुछ का कुछ भी नहीं लिख देना है. So the point should be logical, that should be in coherence with the topic, that should be contextual, and that should be in conformity with the topic of the essay. So this thing should be kept in mind. Logical argument should be provided. हवेबाजी में बात नहीं करनी है, right? Next is self-explanatory. All the arguments and the thesis should be self-explanatory. That will make your essay self-explanatory. Overall essay will become self-explanatory, and that is the requirement, basic requirement of the essay, that it should be a complete composition, and that will become a complete composition only when it is self-explanatory and the reader does not need to read anything else apart from that essay to know about that topic. So this is the requirement, this is the feature. Next is speak what is asked. So again this becomes the contextual thing or the coherence thing itself. Whatever is asked, whatever the topic about which you are talking, you should talk about that thing only. Other than that, apart from that topic, everything is the nonsense in that essay. If there is a topic that is talking about, that in which you have to write about the social issues, and if you are talking about the political issues in that topic, in that essay, then it is a nonsense, it is a garbage that is not needed in your essay at all, and you should not be writing about that thing. So what is the requirement of the essay in UPSC apart from these characteristics and the features? What UPSC requires you to do? Write in a time bound manner, because it is a mental exercise, it is a skill, it is an art, it is testing your argumentative capacity also, it is testing your thought process also, it is testing your communication skill also. So it is a kind of holistic test of your self, your skills, your mind itself. So you have to write the essay in time bound manner. You have to write 2 essays in 180 minutes, that is 90 minutes for each essay. And how to utilize this time we will discuss in the time management topic for writing an essay, right? Next is word limit should be adhered with. So as we have already talked, so once you should do one exercise, that you should write an essay and don't think about the word limit, and after that go on to count the word in one page, and whatever is the normal way in which you write in that way itself, but write in the pages which is provided, the type of pages which is provided by the UPSC for writing the UPSC paper. That is available in the market. Go for that, write an essay in that, count the words, how much words you are writing in one page. Accordingly, you will come to know how much pages you have to write in the UPSC examination, right? So here the word limit should be adhered with, because nobody is going to do extra exercise, and too much short essay will also be not conducive, because it will not be complete composition, it will not be self-explanatory, you will not be in position to incorporate all the ideas in the essay. That is why the word limit is required. Next is precise writing. That should be crisp and precise. Whatever you want to talk about it directly and bluntly. Quote the arguments, quote the evidences, provide your thesis, and straight away talk about that point about which you want to talk in that paragraph. No bullshitting should be done. That should be your approach, precise and blunt. Next is content. Content is the king here. Content is the king. Content is the key to the success in UPSC Civil Services essay paper. I know many of the students who were using very good content. So even though the flow was a bit not aligned properly, a bit misleading, and then also were capable of scoring around 130 marks if they would have adhered with the flow and the unity and all those kind of things. Then they would have scored definitely more than 140 marks, but not more than 145 marks. So they were losing only 10 marks, approximately 5 to 10 marks the students use if they are unable to maintain the flow of the essay. But still, if there is good content, there are possibilities that these students will score quite easily around 130 marks, and this is also not a bad marks in the essay paper. Anything above 130 is a good marks in essay paper. So this thing should also be kept in mind, that you should be utilizing as much content as possible related to that topic. अब कंटेंट का ये मतलब नहीं है कि कुछ भी उठा के ठूस दिए जो कि उस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड नहीं है, ये भी नहीं करना है. So utilize as much content as it is available with you related to that topic and write the essay. Right? So content is the king, content is the key to the success. So here, thank you very much for watching this video and keeping this video on till this time. And if you are watching till now, then do follow us on our Facebook and Instagram channel. This is our Telegram channel. Here also you will find various things, and this is our website where various courses, online and offline courses, are mentioned over there. You can go on to purchase the courses over there, and do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Such kind of informative videos are posted regularly. Thank you very much and have a nice day.